Love 15.
When you look at the similarities in these two players' games, obviously the serve is a big weapon for both, as we see Sabalenka's team. Her longtime coach there on the right.
Fault.
That's first strike tennis. Anton Dubrov, who has been part of a very close-knit team. Her fitness trainer, Jason Stacy as well, hitting partner, all working to keep Sabalenka loose and relaxed for these kinds of matches.
And Chandler, they do talk about how they try and treat each match like a first round. They don't like to do anything different for matches as they go deeper into the tournament. They like to keep the same consistency, treat every match like a first round.
Just looking at both of these players, the serve for Sabalenka, she has been serving well throughout this tournament. She's been good off the first serve, but compared to Keys, has been a bit better behind her second serve, has a little more speed on that shot. That may come into play, especially with how Keys likes to attack on returns. She went for it. Didn't get it to fall, and it's immediate break point.
The perfect start for Madison Keys.
And this is exactly why you choose to receive first. If you can get the early opportunities, maybe your opponent is not quite ready to defend, and that shot off the back of the line from Keys would have been difficult for anyone to handle.
And on the side where Sabalenka just served, there is wind blowing down her back, and it just felt like the ball toss got away from her into the front on those 2 second serves she missed. So I think Madison Keys will be better on that side just because she has that kick toss rather than the one in front. So she might handle it better than Sabalenka did that breezy condition here.
So it's got a good conversion rate, Madison Keys. She wins that set 92% of the time when she gets an early break.
15 long.
She's been serving big, Keys has, but she's also been serving smartly, placing that last one beautifully. That's going to be important for Keys to mix the serve up. Know she can change the spins. She can go with the the slice. She has the kick as well. And that's the discipline we have been seeing from the Keys game. Making the adjustment on the serve, playing for particular reply, and then very calmly easing that backhand up the line. Close on that one.
It's a confident start. To love Madison Keys. A very happy coach in Bjorn Frantangelo.
Now Keys has been able to up the ante a bit on her serve. She's been hitting a lot of aces all tournament, getting her fair share of unreturnables. That game looked very calm and confident.
Love for 10. All.
And Petko, it looks like Madison Keys really not trying to overplay, just picking big targets in the court and playing well within herself.
She's come out very fiercely, and as you said, right in the, she seems very in balance with what she wants to do, with not overplaying, and she's hitting the ball well. It's in the middle of the strings every single time.
Yeah, even that hit from Keys, it was the right shot, the right play. Just didn't quite stay through it long enough. Sabalenka can breathe just a little easier trying to get on the board. It's going to be an important serve for Sabalenka over the course of this match. She is so good going with the pace down the tee, but she's got to mix it up, try to keep Keys guessing, especially going out wide.
So Sabalenka gets the hold and is on the board, but it's Madison Keys with a break, leading 2-1 first set. And Chandler, they did play a rather big match back in 2023 at the US Open. That was the semi-finals where Sabalenka eventually won 7-6 in the third, but it was a topsy-turvy match.
It was. Keys was up in that match 6-0, 5-3, served for it, and ended up losing it 7-6 in the third. That was a tough loss. That one hurt. Of course, Aryna Sabalenka going on to that final afterwards. But for Keys, I feel like it sort of set the tone. And if you remember in 2023, after that, she hurt her shoulder, tore it, so she couldn't start here in Australia last year. And it's been part of the evolution of Keys to learn from losses like that, and it's, I think, helped put her in this position here today.
Massive night tonight on Rod Laver Arena. It's women's singles final night. Always an incredible atmosphere here on Rod Laver Arena. What I'm liking, Chandler, is that Keys has been free-flowing all tournament. She's been going for her shots, committing, and tonight the start's been great.
13-love.
That is a relaxed brand of tennis we're seeing right now. Keys understands exactly what the staples of her game is, and she isn't overplaying. She's giving herself margin, looking very comfortable.
30-15.
We talk about the serve of Keys as a weapon. She is second right now in aces in this tournament, behind Coco Gauff. Fewer double faults, serving well under pressure. You would have expected Sabalenka to be up there in terms of aces, but hasn't hit as many.
No, all the numbers are suggesting hasn't possibly served as well this year as she did in the previous Australian Open tournament. And Chandra, it is a new and it's a different technical serve we're seeing from Madison Keys in the off-season, bringing the back foot up as opposed to the platform serve. So that's a really big change mid-career. It's another good service hold. And again, Madison Keys looking awfully comfortable in this women's final.
So we've been talking about some of the changes that Keys has made to her game. She changed her racket, the specs of her racket as well, to give herself more control with her pace, and then the serve. And she talked about that was a change she was more resistant to, changing her serve, which had been such a weapon throughout her career.
makes such a difference, doesn't it, for
30,
Sabalenka when she gets that first serve in, just at 47% of first serves in. Such a big weapon in her artillery.
She read it, Keys. Sabalenka didn't quite do enough with that approach.
30.
Keys with a bit of extra time. And gets it to dip just enough. Sabalenka can't make a play on it.
Halt. 30, 40.
It's a handy lead now for Madison Keys. It's a double break. And she leads 4-1 first set.
Keys leads by 4 games.
It's been a terrific start for Madison Keys, and for Aryna Sabalenka, it's been struggles on her serve. She's had 3 double faults already in her 3 service games. And if you take a look at her toss contact points, and Andrea mentioned this, but it's been some variation, and some of those serves are getting too far out in front. The balls in red, those are the serves that have been out. It's caused her to lean and collapse a bit more on the serve, and so she hasn't been able to go up and out to get the explosion and the needed spin, and that has caused problems so far for Sabalenka, and she just doesn't quite have the rhythm. So a lot working against Sabalenka. You see the contact point, full extension there. But it has been a struggle to get that motion consistently.
So it's been a fast start for Madison Keys. May have shocked a few people in the stadium. But really, Chandler, that they shouldn't be. She's in excellent form, Madison Keys, the form of her life.
Well, you think about that match, we mentioned the US Open semifinal where Madison was up 6-0, 5-3, ended up losing that match, but she was giving Sabalenka everything she could handle. So we expected this to be a tight one and even some advantages for Keys.
And Petko, that would have looked pretty sweet courtside. Just incredible ball striking from Madison at the moment.
You can hear the atmosphere and the crowd going crazy. A slight smile from Aryna Sabalenka, and Chanda just mentioned it. I commentated on that match. This is very reminiscent of that semifinal at the US Open. And in that semifinal, Aryna Sabalenka was almost taken aback by not dictating every single point, which she's usually used to doing. But against Madison Keys, she just doesn't get to it because the ball comes at you so powerfully.
Oh, it's a dream start for Madison Keys. 5-1 in just 20 minutes.
You look at the head-to-head between these two. You mentioned
leads by 5
semifinal
games
at
to
the
1.
U.S. Open where Keys was up and was so close to that match. The last time they played in Beijing this past fall, that was when Keys was making those tweaks to her serve, so she wasn't quite as comfortable yet with the motion. Sabalenka able to win that one pretty straightforward fashion. This has been a different Madison Keys with the belief that she has now, with how tight she's been mentally in these matches, and then the defense, and that's part of what helped create that miss from Sabalenka. Keys been getting to those extra balls.
All. 15-13.
That one barely caught. Keys cannot believe it.
30 all.
And maybe that saves the set for Sabalenka, at least for now. Sabalenka's got to start going up and out after that serve consistently. Starts with the toss, and that was a good one.
Advantage, Sabalenka.
She's been one of the best returners, Keys, all tournament long.
It just looks so easy, doesn't it? The power, the timing. 134 kilometers an hour.
Advantage, Sabalenka.
That was more of a body serve from Sabalenka, just jamming Keys, not allowing her to swing away as freely.
Just hasn't been able to make Keys uncomfortable at all tonight. Normally, that's what Sabalenka does so well to her opponents, but tonight, Madison Keys is on the front foot, playing to her strengths.
It's been a tough serving day so far for Sabalenka. She's getting her first serve percentages up, but she's still struggling to win points behind her first serve, and that's a very uncomfortable position, especially for a big server. Go a long way if she could get out of this service game.
Survives, but only just. Sabalenka. It's Madison Keys with a double break and a chance to serve for the first set. 5-2.
We expected this to be a good match and for Keys to play some good tennis if she continued along the lines of her previous matches, but this has been phenomenal.
Sure has.
There's a look at the Keys serve. Talked about some of the changes she made to that shot. Going from a platform serve to bringing her right foot up. And it's just given her more stability on that shot. Allowed her to hit bigger, a few more aces, and the rest of her game has followed.
A big night on the calendar here in Melbourne. Saturday night primetime final. And it's Madison Keys who is off to a blistering start. 5-2 double break and a chance to serve for the first set.
Love. And look at the speeds between these two and their forehands. It just seems like Keys is hitting the ball bigger. So hitting with more consistency, and it's been a potent combination for her.
Yeah, it's massive difference, isn't it, when you look at the forehand speeds?
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, 114 kilometers per hour for Sabalenka to 128 there for Keys. She's been around 130 over the course of this event, kilometers per hour on that forehand side. Can Sabalenka get Keys to come down just a bit? So Coach Bjorn Frantangelo just understands how important this moment is for Keys to just take a little more time.
15-14.
Even on that last forehand, you could see Sabalenka kind of jumping up on the ball, not staying down and through it, and that's what Keys has been doing better through this first set. Still under pressure, facing a break point.
That's a little wild, and Sabalenka starting to get a little bit of a roll on here. A couple of games in a row. 5-3. And Petko, can you feel the momentum changing?
I could actually feel it from the first serve. There was just a bit more tension. It felt more forced than before. Here she is now in her corner trying to get some coaching advice, and winning the set will be huge for Madison Keys, particularly because of that scar tissue from that match when she was up 6-0, 5-3 against Aryna Sabalenka at the US Open.
Love 15.
Sabalenka's got the challenge of where to go with her ground strokes right now. Hasn't quite found the range all the way, and Keys has been hitting it well from both sides. Maybe want to go to the backhand more, but you got to be careful of her down the line.
Not the game Sabalenka would have wanted to have played after getting a break back. Want those early points when you're serving.
And it's again, Chanda, what you said with the ball toss. It's again the side where the wind is blowing down her back and the ball toss just gets a bit away from her and she feels insecure on that.
(15-13).
But now Sabalenka knows Keys is getting behind more of her serves, and she was expecting that and ready for it. She tried it again, the wide serve on the second serve. She missed it in her very first service game of the match to go down break point, and she does it again. But this one is also a set point.
Couldn't be any better for Madison Keys. Has taken the first set here against the two-time defending champ, 6 games to 3.
It's worth noticing, though, the Keys serve, and we talked about some of the changes that she made. She had a platform serve where she kept her feet in the same position and just went down to her knee bend and then back up. Now she's bringing that right leg up closer to the left. She made that change the latter part of last season, and there were a couple of reasons for that change. Number one, it was to help alleviate some of the issues she's had with her left leg. You see it strapped there. And also to help alleviate shoulder problems that she's also had in the past.
Oh.
Nothing going right for Sabalenka right now.
30 for 10.
I think with the Keys serve, the other thing that it does positively is it gives her more of a stable base for her to go up and out into the court versus the platform where sometimes she'd be leaning a little too far onto her left leg. Sweetly done. And maybe some change-ups for Sabalenka can help get her more into this match and a better start to the second set. She read it, Sabalenka, and stepped in.
30-14.
Cutting that ball off at an angle, and it helped to steal a little more time from Keys. It's a break point.
Juice.
And she's just rushing Sabalenka and, you know, trying to get more pace behind the forehand, and it is causing deep errors. That one barely making it halfway up the net.
Juice.
That's a break point here early. Again,
Advantage
for Sabalenka.
That's a smart serve from Keys. It looked like she was going to go to the kick, and Sabalenka leaned slightly that way, and Keys changing it up down the tee. Masterful with her placement.
look confident tonight, Madison Keys. Hasn't shown us any signs of nerves or
Keys.
pressure, given that she's trying to win her first ever Grand Slam. It's a good start. Fights off a couple of break points. Madison Keys has taken the first set and leads
First game,
1-love.
second set.
Andrea Petkovic is courtside. Petko, if you could get 30 seconds, and if you were coaching Aryna Sabalenka, what would your message be to her?
Well, in the highly unlikely case that I'd coach Aryna Sabalenka, I think she did it a few times in this first game, and she got break point off of it. She put a bit more topspin on her ground stroke. She had a bit more height and a bit more depth, and she drew a couple of unforced errors off of Madison Keys' racket. Madison just played well. She served well on the break point opportunities, and Aryna still hasn't decided that she wants to do that. She keeps going back and forth between playing very flat. That's when Madison Keys is better today, and then getting a bit more topspin on it. And that's what I would try. Try to extend the rallies, try to put a bit more spin on it. And this is the #1 key. She has to hold serve on this side, because this has been a problem on this side with the wind blowing down her back.
I'd give you a job as a coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, the other part of that problem is she's getting out hit right now, and to Andrea's point, to add a little spin, a little more safety, just extend some of the rallies, maybe try to throw off Keys' rhythm slightly where she can't get as solidly behind the ball. This may be the move for Sabalenka, to try to get inside the court a bit more often, and that's what it's taken for Sabalenka to get points out here.
Let's first serve.
To her first ace of the match, and that has got to feel pretty good for Sabalenka. Sabalenka again just not staying stable enough with her lower body, and she's trying to generate that extra pace. Remember, it is not often that Sabalenka gets out hit on a tennis court, but that is what is happening tonight.
G30. Sabalenka.
Gee, that was a big hold, wasn't it, for Sabalenka? Couldn't afford to go down a set and a break.
1 game on.
Now, she took a little bit off that last serve in terms of her average top speeds and got better placement. And those little things may help get Sabalenka firmly into this second set. Try to build with a little more consistency. As Keys, after beating the world number 2, set away from beating the world number 1 as well.
Oh.
But a set can be a long ways away, Josh. We know that well.
Yeah. And it's a very different matchup tonight. They're such different players, Sabalenka with their style, and compared to Swiatek.
She got a little fortunate, Sabalenka, with the net cord.
But I like the way she's thinking. Like, this is a clever little chip return. Gets Keys at the net where she wants her. Maybe a little bit of luck, of course, Chanda, but the fact that Sabalenka's still thinking clearly, that's good signs.
That's it.
Seen it all tournament long, where just when Keys needs to sort of step up or win some free points, it's been the serve that's delivered.
We haven't seen many extended rallies so far, just 3 points that have gone 9+ shots. But I think this is where Sabalenka can work her way more into this match. Just trying to hold on a bit longer. And nothing she could do about that.
And the beauty for Keys is she's got an excellent serve slider tee on the juice court. She can hit the slider tee on the ad court, but the big thing for her is she can go wide like we just saw there, so she can hit all parts of the court.
Advantage, Sabalenka.
And you can really tell from courtside how this match is on the edge right now of maybe turning the other way, but Madison Keys is keeping it alive for herself with that serve, and I really hope after the tournament she takes her first serve out for a nice drink and a nice dinner, because wow, what a money shot over the course of the entire tournament for her.
It's definitely turning.
That's one of the first shorter second serves that Sabalenka's had. I mean, Keys has served that good, but a little bit of tension, and Sabalenka trying to capitalize.
Another break point number 3.
It's Aryna Sabalenka with the first break in the second set. The top seed leads 2-1.
Sabalenka leads 2 games to 1.
Well, you can see Sabalenka very keen to try and rifle off some rackets.
She's asking for a tighter tension.
Yep.
Interesting. If you're trying to get more pace, you would go tighter, but she is clearly trying to get more control. Feels like she doesn't quite have that satisfactory yet, but that was a good game and certainly an important one to just grab a little bit of momentum.
It just sounded like she said 1 kilo tighter. Is that what you I thought that's what she said. So 1 kilo, that's 2.2 pounds. That's a fair bit, I would have thought. So definitely wants to have that ability to continue to swing hard with the confidence that it'll still go in. So Aryna Sabalenka with the first break in this second set. 2-1, just sent off a couple of more rackets to the restringer during that sit down. Just wanting them a little tighter, which will give her more control.
Love 15. Let's first serve.
Sabalenka chose to go to the Keys forehand coming in. Went cross court there. It was more of an inside-in shot and didn't quite get herself in good enough position, and Keys taking advantage.
Fifteen 13.
And that time Sabalenka played it a little safer on the second serve. Didn't try for the wide one, got a little more kick down the tee. And it got just high enough on Keys for her to miss it.
comeback trail here, Aryna Sabalenka. 3-1, so it's a positive start. She's been able to turn things around here.
Sabalenka leads.
Just getting on the front foot a little more than we saw in the first set.
This match, this final, this was the first time that Sabalenka has lost the first set all tournament. Did have to go 3 sets against Pavlyuchenkova. Lost the second set there. But she's responded, Sabalenka.
Love 15.
Yeah, a little bit of a frustrating miss at love 15 and a second serve. That's a return you want to put back into the court, at least with some height and space away from the lines. It's a big difference. 50-all versus love 30 if you can build that kind of a lead. But Sabalenka, again, making the adjustment higher over the net on that return. And that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, it is so difficult to win a Grand Slam, of course. We know that. But for Madison Keys, who's won that first set, it's hard not to get ahead of yourself and start thinking about it. The unforced error is really starting to rack up here in this second set for Keys. Oh, it's brilliant! Aryna Sabalenka with a double break. Leads 4-1, second set.
Sabalenka leads by 4 games to 1.
We expected Sabalenka to hit back, but that game, first few games and that game at 1-all, you could sense the shift, that possibilities of the shift. And Sabalenka just tightened her game up. You mentioned the unforced error. She's much cleaner so far in this second set, Sabalenka. And her team is giving them something to cheer about.
Yeah, certainly has. The match has just turned really quickly in this second set. No panic. I just love her fighting spirit. Racket getting sent straight back here to Sabalenka. That was a quick restring.
Time.
Sun setting out over the bay here in Melbourne, and inside here in Rod Laver Arena, it is the defending champion who was hit back 4-1 second set.
Let's first serve. Love 15.
In a match like this, we'll have some ebbs and flows with two players who hit the ball as big as these two do. The question is, how quickly can they each get back to their consistent level? And that's what Keys is trying to do here, irrespective of being down a double break.
Love 13.
This is a challenging shot. It's dipping below the net. Sabalenka's closer in as well, so shorter court, and just didn't get the spin.
Fatima.
One of the more extended points of this match. High quality, terrific hitting. Sabalenka trying to keep Keys at bay, but Keys not allowing it.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
Juice.
Serving so much better as this match has gone on. Up at 83% of first serves. Sabalenka in this second set only missed 3 serves out of 18 on the first.
She's thinking and adjusting out there. Sabalenka
Sabalenka
has gone to the changeup. She's hit a few more slices, that time off the forehand, the drop shot. Just dying on the court.
It had to be a winner. There was no coming back.
Juice.
It looked like Sabalenka had done enough into the open court, but Keys knew it had to be good. And boy, was it.
Advantage, Keys.
Really added this to her game in the last 12 months, this little bit of flair and finesse. We know her, of course, for her power, big serving, all-court game, but this is just great finesse.
Yeah, very quickly changing her grip, and it was a drop shot, but kind of a slice drop shot, and because she had the disguise, Keys had no chance.
Chandra, I've just been so impressed with Sabalenka's composure tonight. There was no sign of panic after really being hit off the court in that first set. It's been a great response. Holds on. And now it's a big lead in this second set. 5-1. Sabalenka.
Sabalenka leads by 5 games to 1.
This could have been a very ego-driven match for Sabalenka. You mentioned how she was getting hit off the court. Keys just hitting bigger on average off the serve, forehand and backhand side. But Sabalenka digs in, competes, starts finding ways to win points and win games. And she's done it with some nice change-ups, going to the slice at times, the drop shot, adding a little more height to her ground strokes, her topspin shots. And it has worked in this second set.
love. Wait, please. Oh.
The trophy. That's what they're playing for, the Daphne Ackhurst Cup.
Let's for serve. Let's second serve. Thirty for 10.
She tried to go from defense to offense. Sabalenka just overplayed it. And it's Keys looking good in this game. That's been part of the difference here in the second set, where Sabalenka's done a better job of taking Keys out of service games on second serves. Sabalenka gets another one here.
Oh, it's an important hold, really, for Madison Keys. She's going to force Aryna Sabalenka to serve this second set out. 5-2. So ripping through a lot of restrings here. Sabalenka finally looks like she's happy with the tension she has in the racket now.
Yeah, sometimes you have to play around with it. This match being played in the evening where conditions are, relatively speaking, a bit cooler, a bit slower. And she struggled in that first set, Sabalenka, to find her rhythm, find her range. And I think now she's kind of found the balance in terms of hitting big to being able to control it and mixing it up a little bit better.
Time.
So a chance now for the world #1 Aryna Sabalenka to lock this women's final up at 1-set-all. Just see Madison Keys just trying to get the body going, almost preempting a third set here.
That's just so good.
Yeah, the execution. This is not an easy shot. This drop shot was played nearly on the baseline here from Sabalenka. Look where she's behind the baseline, and to have to change your grip and execute like that.
She's making Keys do a lot of running in this game.
40 love. Fitting. It's
just such a tough start to a game when you double fault that way, and it's what happened to Sabalenka. First service game of the match. And here, still got another opportunity.
Gets it on the third time.
And the second set.
So Aryna Sabalenka has taken the second set. And this women's final is going the distance. And Chandler, it's the fourth straight 3-set match for Madison Keys and the 5th overall in this tournament.
She's had to do it the hard way, Keys, and she's been up to it physically, but this is the toughest challenge yet. 1 set for this Grand Slam title.
Well, she's responded every time she's had to throughout this tournament when it's got to the third set and needs to start well.
Fault. Love.
So it's the perfect start for Madison Keys on the board in this sprint to the title. Andrea Petkovic, if you had 30 seconds with Madison Keys as her coach, what would your message be?
In the highly unlikely case that I coach Madison Keys, I think, honestly, I think she's not playing badly at all. I think Aryna Sabalenka raised her game, and I think Madison just needs to step up. And I did feel in the second set that everything was a bit more forced rather than free-flowing as it was in the first set. And it wasn't because of tightness. That's not the sense I get down here. It's more that she maybe got a bit tired and had to force it more. And if she can go back to the looseness of the first set, as she did against Iga Świątek, I think that's the key to her playing her best tennis and really outplaying Sabalenka in terms of pace and power.
Keys has been doing more running in that second set with the drop shots, with the little slices and different pacing that Sabalenka was putting on her shots. That can take a toll physically.
Fault. Love. Fault.
Missed by much, just clips the top of the tape. It's worked so well in the second set.
It looked like she decided just a fraction later that she was going to go to this shot and then try to overcorrect because she wasn't quite under it enough.
Yeah, the ace count starting to look positive here for Sabalenka.
It was a good idea for Keys, but Sabalenka holding to start this third set.
One game on.
Yeah, both players off to a good start, holding serve. Just such a wonderful competitor we've seen Sabalenka in these big moments over the last couple of years.
Love 15.
And Keys needs to figure something out on that second serve. It has become a huge issue. Sabalenka is timing it better and better. And even if she goes a bit bigger and with a slice instead of a kick every time.
Love 13.
Sabalenka continuing to put Keys under more duress. He's got a slight opening here at love 30.
Let's for serve.
Keys getting the speeds back up in the last couple of points. And it's Sabalenka having to react. One of the things Keys has been telling herself all tournament is to keep going for it, and that is what she has done these last few points now to get to a game point.
Well, that's an important hold for the American. Madison Keys just moves ahead, 2-1 on serve, third set.
Leads by 2 games to 1.
It just looked like Keys was lagging a little bit in terms of physical and also just the intensity, and she just raised it a notch once she got down love 30, and it was a clear difference. Started getting more penetrating with the pace behind her shots, and that is exactly the type of tennis she needs to keep playing when she's got the opportunity.
No doubt has to be a little fatigued, surely, Chandler. This has been a big campaign. Spent a lot of time on court. Just wonder whether fatigue, mental fatigue, physical fatigue becomes a factor.
Especially as Sabalenka has started to move her more and force her into the up and back positions, not just side to side.
Time.
Oh, it's been a sensational few weeks here at the Australian Open, and it's all come down to a one-set shootout for glory. Will it be Sabalenka going for a three-peat, or will it be Madison Keys searching for her first ever Grand Slam title?
Love. Love. 30-15. For 10.
Just a little long, so 2 games all. Both players with winning records at Grand Slams here at the Australian Open. When it goes to a 3rd set, Keys has won 11 and lost 4. Sabalenka, 5 wins and 3 losses in tie breaks here at the Australian Open. So overall, they have very healthy 3rd set records, both players.
I remember when Sabalenka won her first major here, she had to come from a set down against Rybakina. She knows exactly what this moment entails, and she has been willing to step up. That's a highlight shot from Madison Keys.
No, I don't think she could believe that that backhand smash went in.
She was just trying to get it in some vicinity of where she was aiming, and it ended up being incredibly right on the line.
Yeah. Well, she's got great rhythm on this serve, and that's what's really keeping her in the match at the moment. Beautiful rhythm, easy power, it's repeatable with the motion. She's winning a lot of free points.
It's a valuable serve for Keys, the kick that even for Sabalenka can be difficult to handle.
Not this time for Sabalenka. It's Madison Keys in front. Final set shootout, 3 games to 2.
Leads by 3 games to 2.
Those were a couple of excellent service games for Keys. These last 2 service games where she was down both games. The previous one was down love 30, and then this one at love 15 hits that shot. And it's a bit about clutch tennis as well. And
yeah, I'm absolutely loving the fact that she's given herself a chance now. She's done enough on the scoreboard now. The fact that she's 3-2, so she's close enough to the finish line now that's got to put pressure right back on Sabalenka. And Keys knows that she can hit her way to victory. She can hang in there. She's a real chance now at 3-2. That's how I'm sure Madison would feel. But executing it is another thing.
Time.
Australian Open up for grabs here. These two incredible players duking it out here on Rod Laver Arena. We're on serve, 3-2, final set. Chandra, I just get the feeling Madison Keys maybe just needs to take a few chances on a return game. Just needs to swing out, just go for it, because by being passive, I feel like Sabalenka is winning that battle.
Oh my goodness.
Love. Love. Game Sabalenka.
So it's a love service hold for Sabalenka.
3 games on.
Hour and 40 minutes of play in this women's final.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, cheer between the points, but not in between the first and second serve, please.
Halt.
Love.
This is a better start to her service game. You can serve with a lead. It just releases more of the tension. Allows Keys to play from a stronger position. That's the area Sabalenka has been so good at throughout these 2 weeks. Second serve, opportunity points, and she took it there.
The problem with the kick serve against Sabalenka is just a bit taller and has just a bit more upper body strength than other women. So it's not bothering her as much, the kick serve.
That's a 1-2 combo that she's used so well here at the Australian Open. Madison Keys.
14-13.
Oh, it's 2 in a row.
Game.
Madison Keys moves ahead. 4-3 final set.
Keys leads by 4 games to 3.
That was big time.
Oh,
That
yeah.
game, that close of the game from Keys.
And Chanda just shows her maturity as a tennis player, right? In earlier times, she would have just kept going for that body, for the kick serve, because that's the most comfortable she feels with. But she felt it here in the moment, and she changed it up to the slice and got both points. Fantastic maturity from Madison Keys as a tennis player.
Well, Pekka, she's only 8 points away.
Don't say it, Josh. Don't say it like that.
Well, that's... she's in with a huge chance. I like it.
Still far. But she is looking so good now. And serving first. Maybe a little advantage as well.
Yeah, definitely. Rod Laver Arena. All the eyes of the tennis world are enthralled in this matchup. 4-3, third set. It's Sabalenka serving.
That's the fight from Sabalenka.
15-11.
An added level of intensity to find a way to get this point. This is textbook tennis, but it is not easy to execute, especially in this moment. Sabalenka going into the open court, maintaining her focus up at the net.
What a response
New both please.
from the world number 1.
4 games on.
Sometimes it's easier to play the safer shots, the shots where you have more court to hit into, cross court over the low part of the net. They are both taking on the challenge of changing direction, going down the line, and not backing off of those shots. This has been an extremely high level of tennis from both players in this third set.
15-11.
I like the mindset of both players. There's no holding back.
30 for 10.
They're trying to make it happen.
G13.
Well, Madison Keys just one game away from glory. But we're on serve. Third set, 5-4.
Keys leads by 5 games to 4.
Different final from the first major final that Madison Keys played the U.S. Open in 2017. She has matured so much as a player. Hopes to get her name engraved on this beautiful trophy. She's close. It has to stay in the moment here.
So it's Aryna Sabalenka serving to stay in the championships here. What a final we've had.
Love for 10. Please.
It's dangerous if you're Sabalenka and you've got Madison Keys just unloading.
Oh, such a champion, and what a response from Sabalenka.
40-15.
Constant decisions to be made in these moments, and Keys, that's what she's trying to do. Attack that last return just a bit more, and it paid off.
Such a champion, Sabalenka. No problems, 5-all, final set.
5 games on. Laver puts in.
Keys' serve has been so reliable when she's needed it most. That was another big one at a crucial moment.
Yeah, that one just sitting there. That was 115 kilometers an hour.
She backed off just slightly, and Sabalenka was waiting to pounce.
Doesn't get any better. Madison Keys.
40-13.
That's just a ridiculous shot.
Sure is. And does it again. Madison Keys. 6-5. Final set.
Keys leads by 6 games to 5.
How lucky are we
Well,
to sit and be able to bear witness to this kind of tennis?
we are. It's phenomenal, but I have to keep continually tipping my hat to Aryna Sabalenka, who's had to come back just on the scoreboard this match and has done it so brilliantly. Such a competitor. You've had Madison Keys throwing everything possible at her. And Sabalenka has answered every single time tonight. Can she continue to do it?
Time.
Daphne Ackhurst Memorial Cup is going to one of these players really in a few minutes' time, we suspect. What an incredible match. 6-5 in the third. We're on serve in this women's final.
Laver Arena.
Oh, brilliant from Madison Keys again.
Laver Arena. Thank you.
Madison Keys, you are a Grand Slam champion.
16-6, 7-5.
What incredible tennis and what a match.
And this is the moment for Madison Keys. She has worked so hard to give herself this opportunity again, and this time